Alright guys, I hope you're ready for another long installment of the GPO2 Mobile Suit Tips and Builds series. Because we're gonna go with the Pale Rider today. The ground heavy arms version. So, I only have it at 400 cost. This is the only cost it's really good at. So I'm glad I don't have it at 450. That'd be pain. Same thing with the space type, but we already went over the space type in the series already. Um, but today we're actually gonna go over Hades. So technically, this is a kind of a retcon on the space type. But if you see this video before the space type video, take this information and apply it to that one. Because I forgot to put the stats for Hades in that one. So, the method behind the madness for the Pale Rider is build it like the exam suits, except expect to die. Like, when I say expect to die, I mean it. Like, you will die. Like, there's no kidding around the fact. If you survive, oh my god, you did a good job. You should survive only if none of them are left alive. But if you somehow survive the fight and there's still enemies alive, you didn't do enough. You really didn't. Sorry to be harsh. That's how this suit's gonna play out. As you can see, I've pumped 1,000 health, I've pumped into beam and melee resistance, and I put stats into melee boost. So this suit performs more along the lines of a raid than a general, but it has the type advantages of a general suit. So with that in mind, it's like an anti-raid raid. That's the best way I can put it. It's got ground topography. Seeing how it can only go on ground. You get an instant level 1 through the DP store, which is, if you ever get a chance to look at my level, that's my level. I'm in ensign, so at the current moment. So going to my build, and we talk about Hades. I run the rocket launcher. The beam rifle is, it's a beam rifle, but it's the ground type beam rifle. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So the rocket launcher actually does more damage, more reliably, and it's a reliable stun compared to a charged beam rifle. It has twin beam sabers enhanced. These are specific to the Pale Riders. From right. I don't think, yeah, you can't check MS here. This is where it gets confusing. It has a lot of sub-weapons. It has Vulcans. It has beam spot gun in its arm. It has missile pods on its legs. It has a 180 cannon. And it has a shield. So, excuse me. For my build, it's very basic. The thing is, this is a melee suit. But look at the range weapons. If you saw my Desert Zaku video, it suffers from a very similar problem of the fact that it's a melee suit with a lot of ranged weapons. And most of them don't stun. Or stun quickly. So, here's what we're going to go through. First of all, let's just go to my shortcuts here. As you can see, I don't have my Vulcans queued. I don't have the rocket pods queued. But I do queue the spot gun and the 180. My beam saber, of course, and my rocket launcher. Two of them are my stuns that are going to be reliable. One is a heavy stagger. So, keeping that in mind, this is my build. I'm going to run enhanced melee programs level 1 through 3. I'm going to run anti-beam armor level 2. I'm going to run new model frame level 1. I'm going to run anti-beam armor level 1. Anti-melee armor level 2, and strengthened frame level 1. So essentially, I get a lot of defense to this suit and a little bit of health, mostly because of Hades' drawbacks. I don't really need any more oomph into my damage because of what Hades is going to give me. So, with that in mind, essentially, we're going to take a look at these stats here. So, while looking at my stats on the right side of the screen here, I'm going to read out what Hades does. So Hades, while active, is a 75-second timer. So it's a minute and 15 seconds. Hades while active, gives you plus 25 to ranged boost, plus 25 to melee boost. Subtract all defenses by 5 points. You enhance the base speed, so that 120 value right there, to by 10, so it'll be 130. So you gain 35% reduced thruster consumption. Your swing performance is increased by 36, which is 36%, essentially. So your swings do more damage in combo. You gain dodge roll level 2, and you gain maneuver armor. So it's really kind of just, it's this huge, like, it's just this huge stat buff. Like, it really is. But realistically, when compared to the rival stat buff, which is exam, it's kind of just talk shit, really. It is not fun to use in the sense of I will die faster. I'm sacrificing my defenses for stat buffs. When you look at exam, you get defensive buffs with the better stat buffs at 350 to 500 cost for exam level 1. Exam level 2 gives you even more defense but less attack buff. So like, it's kind of like in the situation of like, why would I do that? Because, you know, it's like, why would I just take away my defenses? Which is, I sound like I'm complaining, because really, I kind of am. So, you know, there's that. But, yeah, no, it's just weird. I don't like it, per se. Actually, no, that's not maneuver armor level 1. It's force injector, which we look at skills. It doesn't have force injector, but it has dodge roll outside of exam. Oh my god, Hades. I mean, I just blanked out really bad there. Sorry guys. It has high performance balancer. It has melee combo controller, so it's got 2 swings. It has high performance radar, which means its radar extends to 400 meters rather than 300. It has high performance scope, which allows you to zoom in 5 times. Not really useful unless you're like sniping at the 180, which you should not do. Hades level 1. As you can read, press the touchpad to activate, temporarily boost attack and mobility, lasts longer than exam, quote, exam, not exam level 1. I mean, only exam level 1, not exam level 2. Exam level 2 goes for a minute and a half. But the increase in attack comes with a decrease in defense, but once the time limit is reached, all parts of the unit are destroyed and cannot be repaired. So it's a translation error. They can be repaired, you just cannot repair Hades. Therefore, once you use it, you cannot use it again until you respawn. And it gets shield tackle, which is essentially enhanced tackle, but only when its shield is up. So when you lose your shield, you lose enhanced tackle. It's pretty simple. The thing is with Hades, you get a little bit more than exam level 1, but you get the stats increases nearly not as much. You get less defense. You get debuffed. So BD3 is just literally a better version of Pale Rider at this cost. There's no way of sugarcoating it. The Pale Rider has a unique playstyle, which we're gonna go over. And the thing is that why it's unique is it revolves around this 180 right here. This thing, it's insane. But it's literally a shotgun. But it's a giant ass cannon, does 2,000 damage. So yeah, we're gonna hop out of this. We'll see you over in training range, and then we'll start talking about Pale Rider and actual death. So let's do it. All right, so let's get into the combat portion of our video today. I don't know why I'm blanking out on this video. So it's been a little bit of an interesting morning for me. We're running around with the rocket launcher. As I said before, our Hot Wheel consists of the rocket launcher, the beam saber, the spot gun, and the 180. You can kind of opt into the Vulcans instead of the spot gun, but this is how I usually have my Hot Wheel set up. You don't have to use the same buttons I do. Use what's comfortable, but these are the 4 I recommend for your Hot Wheel. So, going over this suit, it's got a lot of melee, essentially. Its melee weapon's good, its melee modifier is good, but it's got a lot of range weapons. It's like, it's kind of in the sense of a lot of people underestimate the suit, like the Gym Guard Custom, where it has a giant Gatling shield, a lot of Vulcans, and a primary weapon. But the thing is, it's not a shooting suit. It's not. It's a melee suit with a really good melee weapon and high melee priority. This suit does not have high melee priority. So, it's a little bit of an issue against raids for being a raid hunter. Essentially, your basic combo, without using the 180, is relying around hitting a rocket launcher stun, flying in there, hitting a basic melee combo, backing out, hitting them the melee on the ground. You know, your basic blue bazooka method, which looks something like this on the Pale Rider. And you got the same kind of downswing that the Afri Kai does. So it's got the same hitboxes, even though they're Federation Beam Sabers. So if you know how to use the Afri Kai's downswing melee combos, it's very much the same thing. But the Pale Rider's side swing is unique. So the Pale Rider's side swing is like a spin. Even though it spins, its hitbox is only on the side you decide to swing to. So on the left swing, I won't hit this gun cannon, as you can see. But on the right swing, I'll hit the gun cannon. So unlike other suits like the Gelgoog, the side swing does not ever cover the other side of your suit. It only covers the side you choose. This narrow hitbox can really get you screwed over. Some of the Ifrits have similar hitboxes with their melees. So this suit kind of plays more along the lines of a Federation Ifrit Kai, aka the Ifrit Custom, than any sort of other Federation suit. The thing is, right, you won't be able to use this rocket launcher infinitely. It's got 6 shots, its reload is pretty slow, so sometimes you have to opt in for the 180. Now here's the thing about the 180. It's got a one shot, it reloads it takes a long time to reload, so maybe some reload parts if you're looking at a more squishy, but I'm going to shoot you in the face with my 180 and melee you build. But this thing does hit like a fucking truck, and it will send anybody it hits to their knee. Unless they're using maneuver armor level 2, then it's a light stagger. Like if you was to hit him with a neutral swing and or the bazooka. So with that in mind, if we were to say hit this Grandpa Gundam, there's 2,000 damage, she's sent to his knee, and since we don't need the neutral swing, we could just hit him with the downswing combo and finish him off from half HP. No big deal. The beam spot gun does okay damage. Takes about 4 shots to stagger, so you know it can be used to stagger. It staggers faster than the Vulcans, so keep that in mind. As I said before, the downswing for the Pale Rider is the same as the Afri Kai's. Therefore, if you know the hitbox range and how it's going to behave, you can max range it and take off somebody's toes to make sure that their legs break down, so on and so forth. My 180 has been reloaded, and we can use it now to shotgun this gun cannon. As you can see, knock down, max range, boost back. We don't need to downswing. We can hit him with the upswing, and we call it a day. The upswing is, it's kind of like the freaking it's like the prototype Gundam's upswing, neutral swing. So it's got like the prototype Gundam's neutral swing. It's got the Afri Kai's downswing, which is, you know, the cross while lunging forward. It's not jumping like the prototype or the Akmander. Its side swing's unique, as it does cover all the left side, but it only targets whatever side it's hitting. So left covers the entire left, the right covers the entire right, but they don't cross over whatsoever. There's no intersect point. So therefore, you're gonna hit that. You can turn your camera while you're side swinging, going for the downswing, so on and so forth. Haze lasts 75 seconds, so a minute and 15-second timer. You do gain less defenses. So we'll turn on the AI for a quick second. We'll have it hit. Oh, We'll have it hit me, and you know, we'll just have one hit me. So we'll get punched. All right, so it did about 1,000 damage to me from that punch. All right. Let's turn the AI off. All right, now we're gonna replicate that. You probably won't punch me, but 1,000 damage punch from a support is a good chunk. That's not gonna tickle when you only have 13,000. Can't take too many of those, especially with blue shooting at you at the same time. So we're gonna activate Hades. I'll pause immediately, and we'll start. We'll start going to town, and you'll start realizing how fast my health starts actually depleting like really badly. All right. So Hades popped. All right, let's go. Actually, gonna try and do something here. So we're gonna try and dodge. As you see, the speed increase is actually somewhat of a substantial increase. It can get kind of confusing to control the suit due to the fact that it's so fast. As you can see, though, we're getting shredded by the support now. Like, it's no joke. That gun cannon's tackle just did a lot of damage. Cannons are hurt now. Like, you're taking a lot of damage. You're a 400 cost getting shredded like you're a 250 cost against this 400 cost support. Like, that's essentially the equivalence of activating Hades. Basically reduce your cost of health. Like, your health basically, and health and defense is basically from that of a suit 100 cost lower than you. But you gain not even, you're still on cost for damage, really. You just are faster, you hit slightly hard, you hit harder. Like, don't get me wrong, you hit harder. But thing is, I'm dead. Like, 2v1, I'm dead. Realistically, there's no way I survive a real fight too long. That's why I was saying, if you're surviving while enemies are all alive, right, you're not doing too much. Because if you're actually in a fight, you're gonna be getting chunked. See, Hades ended, and then Granddad Gundam did like half damage to me than what he was just doing to me. So like, Hades' drawback is, in my opinion, not even worth it. I don't pop Hades unless I feel like it's time to go in and definitely just try and kill some people. But definitely the skill gap with this suit is not outside of Hades. It is surviving enough while in Hades to kill 2 to 3 people, or at least get 2 to 3 assists. In all honesty, his suit is not that great. It's not. It's a weaker version of the BD2. Sam is just way better. So the raids perform like the Free Kai, the BD2, the BD1 have just a higher stat gain with the defensive buff with exam level 1, but on a shorter timer than Hades, which gives less of a damage buff, a damage debuff, a similar speed increase, and honestly just worse skills. The thing is, those raids will have maneuver armor. They already have forced injector. They get dodge roll while in exam, but BD2 has it outside of exam, and while in exam they have dodge roll level 2. So the argument is, why use the Pale Rider that's a squishy blue when you can just use BD2 or BD3, get better stat buffs, no stat decrease, and do the exact same thing but like way better, you know? So really, if you can just buy the BD3, do it. If you had the BD3, unless you really like the Pale Rider. I mean, I like the Pale Rider. Don't get me wrong, I love this thing. But practicality of this suit is, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the DP, it's not worth the tickets. As long as you can at the same time get the BD3, there's no point. Granted, the BD3 doesn't get a rocket launcher or the 180. You know, so it has to actually have skill to use the stuns. But thing is, its stuns are up more often. They do more damage. And thing is, exam is just better. And fact is, they have more health. You know? You're not gonna get destroyed by a support single-handedly. With a machine gun at that. Like, I'm getting chunked by a freaking machine gun. Your Vulcans really don't stun that fast either for being an 80 counter. So, I love the Pale Rider. The Cavalry type Pale Rider, better. I don't have it, but it's just better. The Space type, better. Really. The Ground Heavy Arms is the weakest Pale Rider in the game at the current moment. It needs help outside of buffing Hades, because they already buffed Hades. That's not the problem. The problem is its defenses and health pool. Maybe take some of the buffs you get in Hades for damage, but give it, either just get rid of the damage debuff in Hades, I mean the health debuff in Hades, or just buff the health and decrease the damage buff in Hades. So granted, Hades would be less damage, but thing is, you have better mobility to tank with. If you catch my drift, I'd rather survivability on my general types than getting pounded into the dirt by whatever wants to, because I'm in my super form that's supposed to make my suit like 80 million times better. Instead, it makes my suit 80 million times more just dangerous to use and a liability to my team. So, you know, that's my thoughts on the Pale Rider. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments section below. Any suits you want to see in the future, let me know down there as well. Make sure, if you like the video, like and subscribe. I'm going to be putting out more of these in the future. But yeah, this is my thoughts on the Pale Rider Cavalry type. You don't have to listen to me. I may be really wrong about this suit, but this suit is definitely not the suit to pick for this role when you could just pick Blue Destiny Unit 3. So yeah, this has been Deranged Pyro, aka Grandy Warrior, signing off.